Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee and thank you for stopping in today. Today I am part of a great collaboration, Make It March. And it's put on by Leisa Sutton over at SuttonsDaze, and it's every day you're going to get a recipe, a way that we use our home canned food. And Lisa's going to have a playlist. I'm going to have a link to her channel. And best of all, at the end of the month, there's going to be a live. And if you know anything, Lisa's live giveaways are amazing. And she is giving away a 23-quart Presto Canner. And if you can see mine there, I have beans and peas going right now. So she's going to give one of those away. That's amazing. And then to add to it, ForJars is our sponsor, one of our sponsors, and they're going to give away some gift baskets with gift cards. And if you have not used their lids or bought any of their towels or the other great items they have, so it's going to be a great giveaway, and it's going to be a great month with awesome recipes. I mean, the other channels are truly amazing, and I feel just honored to be part of this. And so thank you so much for stopping in. Today I'm going to do a dessert. My other, weeks I'm doing more dinners and things, but I can fruit. We have an orchard in the house that we moved into. Checking to see if the steam's coming out yet. We have an orchard and we get fruit, and we got lots of pears this past year. We have 4 old pear trees. So I canned brown sugar pears. And don't they look good? But today I'm going to make an upside down pear cake. My husband thinks this is a pretty awesome recipe, so I asked him if he wanted pear bread, which I make, or the pear cake, and he debated, but then he said, that cake is really good, so that's what we're going with. So I had already opened up a jar of this jar I should say, to taste them, because I've canned them and I haven't tasted them yet. Isn't that something? This year, so they taste great. And I didn't put I didn't make a heavy syrup or anything like that. So I'm going to get everything together. You make it in a cake pan like this, and we're going to make Pear Upside Down cake for Make It March. The first thing was to cut parchment paper to fit inside the cake pan. I didn't do a very good job. I must have failed whatever geometry or whatever it is in school. Oh well. So even if it's not perfect, it will still work. Now we're going to butter this pan. And then put our paper in there, and we'll set that aside. That was the pan to make the sauce. Next, we're going to drain the liquid out of these pears. I got to think of a use for that now. It's too good just to throw away. Set that aside. And now we're going to take the pears. And these were little pears. We have a very old tree, and they were little. So they were kind of a pain to peel. But there was so many this year. I mean, hundreds. We're going to take the pears and line the outside. I might need 2 jars, we'll see. Sorry for the canner sound in the background here. Waiting for it to start to do the hula. You have to multitask on a day when you're home, you know. I think one will actually do it. There we go. All the pears are sliced and in the bottom there. There's one more pear in there. We'll put that in the middle. Now the jar is empty. Next we make the pear sauce. We take 1/4 cup of butter, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar. We're going to put this on the stove and let it melt together and start to caramelize. When it starts to bubble a little, we'll take it off and put it over the pears. While this is doing that, I'll start getting the cake ingredients together and we'll make the cake. This started to bubble and it's all blended, turning thick. So now we're going to gently pour it over the pears. I have made this before without doing the parchment paper, and it turns out fine, but I'm trying to do it the proper way, so hopefully it doesn't mess me up. First, we're going to mix the dry ingredients into this bowl. It's 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, almost gone. Need to bring up a new can, and a pinch of salt. That's the dry ingredients that we'll mix in here. Into this bowl, we're going to put 3 eggs, and you can, I got a little bit of shell in there. You can use a hand mixer. You don't need to pull out big KitchenAid for this unless you want to. Oh my gosh, I got more eggshell. I am on a roll. Okay, let's try with the last egg to not get any eggshell. 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of yogurt, plain yogurt. I'm using Greek. That's usually what they recommend for baking. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, which I didn't measure. Let's mix this together. I'm going to try my regular whisk for this part, and I'll switch to the Danish whisk for when I'm adding the flour. Yeah, this is blending the liquids better. I'm going to switch over to the Danish whisk for mixing the batter together. So gradually we're going to add in the dry ingredients. Now, once I get this all mixed, I will fold in a half a cup of oil. You want to have a flavorless oil, so they recommend vegetable oil, canola. You don't want like an olive oil. What I like about this recipe is that it just is everything you can have in the house. Adding the oil in now. You don't want to have it beating real hard at this point. Now we gently pour this on top. We want the pan to be about 3/4 full. We put this in the oven now for 45 to 50 minutes at 350. Here is the cake out of the oven. It cooked for 45 minutes and a toothpick comes out perfectly clean. So we will let this sit here and rest and cool, and then flip it over and give a little prayer, as the recipe said, that it will come out. So I'm going to loosen around the edges now that it's sat, because the brown sugar can stick to the edges there. And loosen it, and then I'm going to put my plate on there, and fingers crossed, flip it over, and lift up the edge a little to let it flop down, and then lift off the pan, and ta-da! There it is. I was quite relieved. So here is the cake, all finished and ready to finish cooling before we slice it. Let's give it a taste test. It's really good. I'll have the recipe down below. And, change it up. If you have canned peaches, use them instead. It doesn't have to be pears. If you have canned pineapple, use that. The cake is a really good cake recipe. It's very easy. This is a quick recipe for company. So, thank you for watching. If you like this video, if you push the like button, it really helps. And subscribe to see more videos on canning and baking and vintage recipes, and I'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.